Guys, welcome back to another chapter of Stock and Lean Management with AARevision Business Studies. So, definitions again. So, stock, it covers everything that the business is holding. So, the long definition for this is a term used to cover everything from raw materials through work in progress to fully finished products that the business is holding. And stock control is the process of making sure that the optimum level of stock is held so that demand can be met while keeping the cost of holding that certain stock to a minimum. So I've just entered you a little diagram with the stock control chart. So reorder level, as soon as it hits this point, they tend to have to reorder things in order for it not to go down to the minimum stock level, because if you're a firm, you've got to tend to have your stock there when you need it usually. So if consumers want to buy things, you've got it already in your stock. You've probably got like tens and hundreds of same item, depending on what sort of company you hold, in your stock in order for your customers to actually buy on impulse, on demand, basically. Lean management is any system of production that tries to minimize waste during the production process. So I'm pretty sure you've probably learned about JIT, Kanban, TQM, cell production, etc. All of those are ways of lean management. So lean management is just in time, it's TQM, it's cell production, it is all of those. So the definition for that was any system of production that tries to minimize waste during the production process. So this helps to cut costs. So, just in time, to define that, it's stock control system that arrives when they are needed. So if I was a firm and I didn't really have storage, I didn't have the whole stock control stuff, and then I needed my supplies in tomorrow, I would call out my suppliers, I would tell them that I need the stock in for tomorrow, and they will bring it in for me just in time for the point that consumers will want to buy it. So it's a last minute sort of thing. So, advantages and disadvantages of those. So there's no need to hold large reserves for stocks because it's expensive to purchase and store. Because if you're going to keep all your stock, you need a place in order to keep the stock, and you're going to have to pay rent on that certain premises where you're holding all your stock. If you're a massive firm, such as Amazon, for example, they have a warehouse. It charges them, I don't know, per week or month. They have to pay rent on the premises in order to hold all the goods and services that we buy from Amazon directly. So that's an example. Production costs are reduced, and so this increases competition, and there's greater flexibility in responding to changes in demand. The disadvantages to this is heavy reliance on the supplier and may not be able to supply on time. For an example, if the supplier doesn't actually arrive just in time, hence the word just in time, then you've sort of got a problem, because you can't be able to supply to your consumers because you don't have the stock right now because your suppliers have let you down. So you rely so much on them because you've got no backup stock. And you won't benefit from bulk purchases, or it could be expensive, because generally when you tend to buy things, if you're a retailer, say you're a newsagent, when you buy crisp packets or juice cartons or alcohol or something, you tend to buy in bulk, like Costco. When you go to Costco, things are so much more cheaper because you're buying in bulk, and therefore you cut back on costs and you tend to save on money. Whereas if you're getting things just in time, you tend to only ask for the amount that you need, and so you don't tend to buy in bulk in order to keep them for later use. You buy just in time, so maybe about 3 things instead of 20 things. And Kanban, as I talked about previously, so JIT and Kanban are pretty much the same thing. So Kanban is basically just in time, so it goes hand in hand with JIT. It's commonly seen in places such as car factories, where individually specified vehicles move down the production line. So it means that all output will generate sales revenue, and costs, again, are minimized. Advantages of short production lead times. Product development lead time starts from the first idea about the product through the design and the development period. These are just another key terms that you've got to need to know. Time-based management, it's saving time where possible. So if I was to expand both of these definitions, product development lead time starts from the first idea about the product through the design and development period to be ready to start selling the final product. And time-based management is based on saving time, hence time-based, whenever possible. For many businesses, the speed with which they can actually respond to change is a key factor in maintaining competitiveness, and it requires a lot of flexibility. So there's benefits of short-term product development lead time, so it reduces costs, it improves cash flow, it responds rapidly to consumer tastes and preferences, and it enters the market before competitors can, and all of this hence gives the business a competitive advantage. Woo! But you need to make sure that you know this. It does require that capital, equipment, labour and management are flexible enough to do this. Only then can the business produce or redesign a product quickly in response to market forces. Lean production. So advantages and disadvantages. So it's basically all those factors I talked about here, but summarised. So this was specifically just in time. Okay, so the main things that are likely to come up is just in time, but there's also all these other things as well. But I'm just going to summarise lean production advantages and disadvantages for you guys. So there's actually a lot more than this, so I'm going to actually talk through all the ones that I've made notes on. So it reduces costs of storage and handling. These are advantages. It reduces wastage and related costs. It improves quality. Customers are more satisfied with the quality. There's greater flexibility. There's lower reject costs. There's shorter lead times and more motivated staffs and less staff turnover. The disadvantages to all of this is it doesn't suit all production processes. Failure by one small supplier can halt the entire production process, and workers may dislike greater responsibility, and managers' staff may not be flexible enough. So I just talked about 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages. These are probably like the main ones that you need to know, but I've just mentioned all the possible ones that I could think of and that I have in my notes. And that is lean management for you guys. There's actually a lot more chapters in this unit than there was in Unit 1, I believe, because I've got a lot to go through, but hopefully they'll be uploaded within tomorrow or the day after maximum. So stay tuned, subscribe and like my videos, and if you've got any specific questions, message me or leave a comment below. If you want any specific detailed video, to comment it below and I'll try my best to actually make a video on it once I've completed all of Unit 2. So thank you guys and good luck with your exams and stay tuned. Goodbye!